remember a helicopter, and there was this big empty field that was in the middle that we played in. And I remember a helicopter coming down, pretty loud and just like scary, like what's going on?
We said, you know, the one thing that keeps coming up over and over and over again was that no one seemed to understand what was going on. What's going on, right? Marvin Gaye's hit,
so that was
which was really a few years later. It was it came out in 1971. But after we came upon that title, and we started doing some research, we really found that he wrote it a few years earlier, and that Berry Gordy was afraid.
One on the other side of this floor.
Well, welcome to What's Going On, Newark and the Legacy of the 60s. During the turn of the century, many African Americans left the South, the plantations and small farms that they were working on, and came to the North and the West in search of jobs and better living conditions. And they found employment in a few of the stores. Bamberger's was one of the very few stores that hired African Americans from the very beginning and gave them an opportunity for growth. They found work in the factories in the greater Newark area, but as many of the blacks moved in, many of their white neighbors moved out, and they found that although segregation was sanctioned in the South, and it was legal in the South, it was also sanctioned in the North, although it was not legal. And we know that it was an era of protest on a national level, but it was also an era of protest on a local level.
I remember asking my mother, was there anybody fighting for us? She took me to her room, their bedroom, and she had a picture, and it was a glossy picture of this guy named King. And she pointed him out to me, and she said, "This guy is fighting for you."
And in this part of the exhibit, you will see actual footage of those 5 days as the events unfold. And here we have a wall that's dedicated to all the 26 victims that lost their lives during that time. Okay. But we came out of that time period with, I guess, a sort of optimism that things would improve, especially when Mayor Kenneth Gibson was elected to replace Hugh Addonizio and the corrupt regime that happened. You know, no one quite understands why it happened. Well, I think we have some idea of why it happened. I don't think we're exactly sure about how to prevent it from happening again. And, you know, hopefully this exhibit will help us think through that.